Hi friends, crude oil is boiling hot and I'm here to discuss if this can be a possible opportunity for investors to invest in stocks that are impacted due to the rise in crude oil. On 7th March 2022, Brent crude oil, which had already been soaring since the start of 2022, touched boiling hot levels of $139.13 and US West Texas Intermediate WTI hit $130.5, both traded at highest levels since 2008. The Russia-Ukraine conflict has led to an extended rally in the commodity cycle. Commodities such as crude oil, palm oil, sunflower oil, metals as well as food are all on an unprecedented rise. The US has banned the Russian crude oil, which exports crude and crude-based products to the tune of 7 million barrels per day or 7% of global supply. It is expected to take crude oil much higher. This can have a spiraling effect not just on India's current account deficit, but can send the petrol pump prices soaring by rupees 10 to 15 per litre and adversely impact CPI-based inflation. On the other hand, any chances of absorption by the government could lead to the widening of the fiscal deficit. This surely means one thing: soaring crude oil impacts businesses and the stock market either way and delays the process of recovery of India's economy. The Indian stock market plunged on the back of rising crude oil prices as the inflationary impact of crude will be felt on several sectors such as paints, aviation, FMCG, auto, chemicals, plastics, cement and oil and gas. Although there is a consensus view that inflationary impact on raw material prices would be passed on to the consumers, it would still impact margins to some extent and hurt the demand. We highlight how each industry gets impacted adversely owing to rising crude oil prices. The paint industry is the first one to get impacted as it uses crude derivatives such as monomers and titanium dioxide. Hence, a margin pressure is evident. Higher ATF, air turbine fuel prices, could increase the ticket prices, thereby reducing air traffic and impacting margins of this industry. FMCG industry would be impacted due to spike in crude palm oil prices and thereby impact its margins. Overall, consumption would be impacted in industries such as chemicals, plastics, and cement, as they use oil and petrochemicals as raw materials like plastics, resins, epoxy adhesives, and pet coke. Auto companies could also see their demand getting postponed owing to fear of rising petrol and diesel prices. However, on the other hand, with the state elections ending, if the retail fuel prices do see an uptick, oil marketing companies are set to see massive inventory gains in the upcoming quarter. Positive marketing margins and gradual recovery in refining margins will have a positive impact on the stock prices of companies such as IOCL, BPCL, and HPCL. Companies that can get impacted adversely due to this conundrum are Marico, Nestle, Britannia, Interglobe Aviation, Asian Paints, Exxon Mobil India, Indigo Paints, Kansai Nerolac Paints, and Berger Paints. You also have auto companies like Maruti and plastic companies such as Supreme Industries, Nilkamal, and Phenolux Pipes, just to name a few. But like every coin which has two sides, the crude story also has dual characteristics, and the oil price rise will last until the Russia-Ukraine crisis. If things get resolved, the crude oil prices would reduce and lead to an increase in prices of these same stocks. We at Sharekhan Education have researched 4 stocks that usually see a turnaround once the crude rally is overturned. We believe that companies such as HUL and Godrej Consumer Products Limited would be able to sustain this inflationary impact on the back of aggressive price hikes and volume-led growth recovery respectively. Interglobe Aviation would benefit post a drop in ATF prices owing to a rebound in air traffic and market share gains. Asian Paints has a history of being able to pass on the raw material increase through price hikes and would be able to bounce back pretty fast. The run-up in stock prices that occurred before the Russia-Ukraine crisis took the valuation of these stocks to a peak level. The rise in crude prices has led to a substantial correction in these stock prices, and the valuation now looks reasonable. Investors with a long-term horizon should contemplate taking a contra view and investing in these stocks currently. And that's all, folks. This is Viral Shah signing off. Happy investing. Please note, we do not give any recommendations or financial advice. We suggest investors do their own research or consult a financial advisor before investing. Thank you.